August 18th, let's go to Kutcher's Country Club in New York to watch Floyd Patterson prepare for his title defense against challenger Roy Harris. Chris Schenkel's on hand to talk with Patterson's manager, Cus D'Amato. So take over, Chris.
Well, Cus, you have very definite ideas about Floyd Patterson and what he will do. You've made many definite moves. Is there a purpose behind all this?
Oh, yes. I've had a purpose behind everything I've done. I've had a definite plan which I've followed in spite of all events and every effort to prevent these plans from materializing.
And, Cus, regardless of what people say, you still follow that formula?
Absolutely.
Do you plan to continue that formula?
Without a question of doubt.
Now, speaking of future plans, which is not the smartest thing to do, of course, because you have a fight coming up August 18th in Los Angeles, and it'll be seen on TelePrompTer, closed-circuit television. Do you think there is a probability of a Sugar Ray Robinson-Floyd Patterson fight in the future?
Well, I've been approached about such a match, but I feel I have one attitude toward this match. If Ray Robinson is considering committing suicide, I don't want him to use Floyd Patterson as the vehicle. That's the way I feel about it.
In other words, you think for Floyd it might be somewhat of a pushover?
Well, to pull it mildly.
Do you have any one comment you can make about the contender, Roy Harris?
Well, I think Lou Viscusi, who promoted most of his fights, gave the most accurate statement about him. He said, no one has ever extended Floyd Patterson since he's fighting, and no one has ever extended Roy Harris since he's fighting. When these two fighters meet, he feels the winner of this fight will be accepted as a really great fighter and a great champion. And
perhaps the greatest fighter in the ring today, right, Cus?
That is my belief. I have believed that for a long time.
Thank you very much, Cus D'Amato.
Thank you, Chris.
Patterson begins with a brisk workout on the light bag. Patterson shows the punch that stopped 24 of his 34 opponents. Anyone for Mambo lessons? Floyd gives his interpretation as he shadow boxes preparatory to sparring. The champ demonstrates for our cameras the same lethal power punches that carried him to the top of the fistic world. Trainer Dan Florio divulges some expert advice as he laces Patterson's gloves. Dan's experience, accumulated over many years in the fight game, has helped several aspiring pugilists. Former light heavyweight champion Tommy Loughran is an interested spectator as he watches Patterson go through his paces. In the striped trunks, the 23-year-old champion belabors his sparring partner as he steps up the tempo in preparation for his August 18th date with cut-and shooter Roy Harris. Ringsiders watch closely as Floyd winds up the sparring session. And now, let's go back to Chris Schenkel, who's waiting to ask the champ a few interesting questions.
Floyd, in televising about 15 of your fights in the past and then having seen your other bouts, today you look tremendously strong. In fact, stronger.
Well, I'm getting older, and I'm hitting that age now where you might call it a peak. I'm supposed to be as strong as ever.
How old are you now, Floyd?
23.
23.
Yeah.
We can recall the days when you were so young that they wouldn't let you go beyond 8 rounds, remember?
Yeah, but that was years ago. It's over with now.
Do you think, Floyd, this long layoff has had a bad effect on you?
Well, had I not been in training all along, I think so. But the fact that I had been training steadily after the fight, which was about a year ago, my last fight, I don't think, if any, it had no effect at all.
Floyd, do you personally feel now that you are a better fighter than you were against Archie Moore when you won the title?
Well, each fight that I go into, whether I'm better or whether I look better, I'm going to try to be better regardless.
Have you ever been in Texas, Floyd?
Yes. I've been in Texas once, about 8 months ago. I'm trying to think of the name of the town that I was in.
Houston?
Houston, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you must have met then Roy Harris, the contender.
Yes, I did meet him there, but I've never saw him in action before.
Do you feel, though, from what you've heard, that he is tougher than Pete Rademacher?
I think so. Each fight I'm going to look at tougher than the fight before, regardless of how I win the fight.
Floyd, in training for this bout with Roy Harris, which will be August 18th in Los Angeles, closed-circuit television by TelePrompTer, do you plan or train for 15 rounds?
I plan and train for 15 rounds, and in each and every fight, I expect to go the distance. But like I always say, if the opportunity presents itself, whereas I can knock the opponent out, I'm going to take full advantage of it.
I think we've taken a little over advantage of you, Floyd, because you're perspiring and you better get in before you catch a cold, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Chris.
Floyd Patterson, ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world.
This is Cotton Chute, Texas. Never heard of it? Neither did we until its favorite son, Roy Harris, was signed to fight heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson for the world title. Here he is, unbeaten in 22 bouts. The little village of 200, where Roy and his father, Henry Harris, live, is a fabulous spot. Moonshiners still flourish there. They catch and raise wild hogs. They've even raised alligators for pets. Roy's sisters are just as athletic as he is. Francis can punch the bag about as well as Roy himself. And some Texans think his younger brother, Henry Jr., age 17, is a better ring prospect than Roy. It's a situation stranger than fiction. Roy is a college graduate and a school teacher. Oil discovered on the land has made his father wealthy.
Roy, how do you personally think you'll do against the world heavyweight champion, Floyd Patterson?
Well, I can't say until I get in the ring with him, but I think I'll have a good chance. I've been fighting probably as long as he has, had about the same experience, and both of us fought amateur along about the same time. I don't see any reason why I shouldn't have a good a chance as him to win.
Mr. Harris, speaking for a family of 8 children, yourself and your wife, what do you think Roy's chances are of getting that heavyweight championship of the world?
Good. I think they're good. If I didn't think so, I'd be trying to stop it.
Roy does 5 miles of road work every day. He was a natural fighter as a boy, and his career parallels the champions in that both of them became famous as Golden Glovers. Roy was Texas Golden Gloves champion 4 years in succession. Now he's 6 feet tall, weighs 195 pounds, and there's not a Texan with a doubt about his title chances. The Harrises are all big, rugged men, spawned in a community that got its name from the days when arguments were settled with knives and guns. Big Henry Harris likes to boast that nobody ever licked him but his dad. Roy can make the same claim. The smart boys all expect Floyd Patterson to retain his crown when he takes on the little-known Texan. But sometimes Texans refuse to be smart.
Roy Harris, the challenger who hails from Cotton Chute, Texas, is a serious and confident young man as he makes his way through the cheering mob on his way to the ring. Not many fans here are giving the upstart, undefeated boxer much of a chance against the champion, but before this fight ends, he's going to surprise a lot of folks. Here's the fellow they all came to see, the world's heavyweight champion, Floyd Patterson. Experts say he has the fastest hands in the business. He's the overwhelming favorite over Roy Harris. But before the cheering dies down, he's going to be the author of a smooth and rugged boxing lesson, and Roy Harris is his reluctant student. It's round 1. Harris at 194 pounds in the black trunks. The champion Patterson in white trunks weighing 184.5. Both fighters used up round 1 in trying to figure each other's style. No damaging blows were landed. Patterson seeing Harris for the first time. Harris on the cautious side in the first round, fighting for the first time outside the state of Texas. It's round 2 at Wrigley Field in Los Angeles, California, and it's the big round for the challenger from Cotton Chute, Texas, Roy Harris in the black trunks. Patterson in white. Harris scores the first knockdown of the fight. Patterson is down, bringing the 17,000 fans to their feet. And now in slow motion. Watch for Harris's uppercut. Blocked partially from your view, but it knocks the champion down, who takes a 3 count and is up fighting. Mushy Callahan
motioning Harris to the neutral corner as Patterson comes up at the count of 3 and tears into Harris. A record gate for a boxing bout in the state of California, over $230,000 in the till. For Patterson and White, it's his 3rd title defense, his 35th professional bout. The champion, Floyd Patterson, determined, proud of his title, as the other part of a winning combination, his manager, Customato, comes into the ring to give him instructions. And we move to the 7th round at Wrigley Field in Los Angeles. You'll see now indications of the cut above the left eye of Roy Harris in the black trunks. He was cut first in round 3. His cornermen, Bill Gore and Denny McMahon, have done a wonderful patch job. Is on the canvas. Only once in his career has he been down, and that was against Bob Baker. He got up and won the bout over the 10-round route. Callahan counting to 8, and Harris is ready as he's bleeding from the cut over the left eye. In slow motion, watch the blinding right cross that Patterson uses over a left-hand lead thrown by Harris and puts Harris down for the first time in the bout. Round 8 at Wrigley Field in Los Angeles. There's the champion, Floyd Patterson, coming out and to do the real damage in this round as he floors the challenger, Roy Harris, twice. Patterson in training damaged 2 sparring partners so much that they had to leave camp. And he's trying it right here to the man that wants to get his title, Roy Harris of Cut and Shoot, Texas. And now in slow motion, watch the second knockdown. A whistling right hand, and Harris reels and is down as Mushy Callahan, the referee, moves Patterson to a neutral corner and begins the count. Harris really felt that punch. He takes an 8 count, comes back for more, and watch the champion bore in. On the move, trying to fight back and get an offense of his own started here in round 8. The second knockdown, a thing of beauty on the part of the champion, Floyd Patterson. 3 devastating punches, and Harris is down practically in his own corner for the second time in round 8. This time, however, he takes only the count of 3. And now tells the referee that he's okay and ready and willing to continue. And so is the champion. Some feverish work now going on with a cut on the left side of Harris's face, one in his right side burn, and he is busted on the bridge of his nose as we move into the 11th round at Wrigley Field before a record gate. In the 11th, both the champion, Patterson, and the challenger, Harris, stayed off the canvas. Patterson later commented that both he and Harris were ring rusty. The champion's first fight in nearly a year, Harris fought last in October of 1957, beating Willie Besmanoff. And that's the end of the 11th round at Wrigley Field. Manager Customato's been hollering from the corner to get Patterson to go out and finish it all. Well, here's the 12th round, and it's the final round. In slow motion, you'll see Harris knocked down for the 4th time in the bout. Harris's face a gruesome sight here in the 12th round. The punch that made Harris groggy, but is he? Watch his composure. As he senses the champion is on top of him and possibly could finish him, he goes down to one knee and takes a full count of 9 before he gets up. Well, as the experts say who witnessed his hometown cut and shoot, all the men folks there are bred with a lot of courage. And if courage could win titles, Roy Harris would be wearing a crown. Both Patterson and Harris had gone 12 rounds before. Patterson with Tommy Jackson and Harris with Buddy Thurman in winning the heavyweight championship of Texas. And in this bout, the champion, Patterson, is putting on the line that he is an underrated champion. He is the 19th heavyweight champion of the world. And this is the 102nd heavyweight title defense. Harris now bleeding from the nose, cuts over the left eye and from the right side burn, bleeding from the bridge of the nose also. He's been down 4 times. A true sign of gameness. He's moving around in the ring just as well as he did in the earlier round. But the expression on the fans' faces as you see them tells the story. How long can it go on? And there they go to the corners after the 12th round. The fight has been stopped. It's all over. Floyd Patterson remains king of the heavyweights after a bruising, exciting battle before 17,000 fans. Floyd Patterson, the smooth and relentless stalker, had a battle on his hands tonight as Roy Harris, the pride of Cut and Shoot, Texas, does himself.